Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Sunday, October 30th, 2022. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with news out of Japan. Pro Wrestling Noah announced during their show today in Tokyo that former New Japan and current WWE star Shinsuke Nakamura will be the opponent for the Great Muta on January 1st during Noah's New Year's Day show at the Budokan in Tokyo.
日本武道館新助仲間対グレートムタ言葉はいらねえなこれは奇跡だやっ
Nakamura hasn't wrestled in Japan since WWE ran house shows at Tokyo's Korakuen Hall in June of 2019 and hasn't wrestled for another promotion outside WWE since having his last match for New Japan Pro Wrestling on January 30th, 2016. We'll have results from Noah's show at Ariake Coliseum today, as well as news from around Japan at the end of the broadcast. An update on ticket sales for the Royal Rumble. With 3 months to go before the premium live event takes place on January 28th, WrestleTix reported yesterday that the show is approaching a sellout with 30,188 tickets distributed to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, and 3,684 tickets remaining available out of the 3,802-seat setup for the show. With smaller stage setups and more tickets made available, the Royal Rumble previously drew 52,050 people to the Alamo Dome in 2017 and 60,525 in 1997. Both rank among the top 30 highest attended events in WWE history. In other live attendance news, WWE Monday Night Raw came in first place amongst WWE and AEW weekly TV shows last week in terms of tickets distributed. That's according to WrestleTix. Raw drew a live attendance of 7,570 to the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. WWE SmackDown came in a very close second with 7,524 tickets distributed for last Friday night's event at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis. AEW Rampage last Friday outdrew Wednesday night's Dynamite with 3,795 fans assembled in the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut, compared to the 2,889 who attended Dynamite at the Chartway Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. The combined attendance of both Dynamite and Rampage was still nearly 900 tickets less than the individual attendance figures of either Raw or SmackDown. In-house show results from last night. The WWE Raw crew traveled to Mexico for the first WWE event at Arena Monterrey in 5 years. In the main event, Seth Rollins retained the United States title in a triple threat with Matt Riddle and Austin Theory. Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair defeated Bayley via disqualification due to outside interference from Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and Nikki Cross. The Lucha Libre-inspired faction of Legado del Fantasma opened the show with Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde falling in defeat to Los Lotharios. Legado del Fantasma leader Santos Escobar fared better later in the evening with a pinfall victory over Dolph Ziggler. One of Lucha's most popular international stars of all time, Rey Mysterio, teamed with AJ Styles and Raquel Rodriguez to defeat the Judgment Day's Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley. Also on the card, Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano defeated Alpha Academy. NXT came to the Winter Haven Armory in Winter Haven, Florida for a live event headlined by Braun Breaker successfully defending the NXT Championship against Josh Briggs. Briggs earned a shot at Breaker in the opening match of the night with a victory in a Halloween Battle Royal in which all wrestlers appeared in costume. In the semi-main event of the card, Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed of the Schism defeated Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. In the Schism's corner with leader Joe Gacy was Ava Rain, daughter of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and the newest member of the faction. Turning to Japan, Sunday was a busy day throughout the country with several promotions running shows. Here are some of the highlights. In addition to announcing the Great Muta against Shinsuke Nakamura for January 1st, Pro Wrestling Noah held a big card with multiple championship matches at Tokyo's Ariake Coliseum on Sunday. In the main event, Kaito Kiyomiya pinned Kazuyuki Fujita to retain the GHC World Heavyweight Championship, finishing him with a Hurricane Rana in 24 minutes and 6 seconds. After the match, Timothy Thatcher, who was undefeated since joining Noah, challenged Kiyomiya for his title. The semi-main event on the show was a special six-man tag team match. Keiji Muto, Naomichi Marufuji, and Yoshiki Inamura defeated a team of New Japan outsiders, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Togi Makabe, and Tomoyoki Honma. In other title matches, Takashi Sugiura and Satoshi Kojima defeated Keno and Katsuhiko Nakajima to make the first defense of their GHC tag team titles. Masakatsu Funaki choked out Kazuchi Sakuraba to retain the GHC national title. Ninja Mac defeated Hayato to win the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship, and Atsushi Katoge and Seiki Yoshioka retained the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles over Tadasuke and High 69. New Japan Pro Wrestling's Battle Autumn Tour continued today at the Makuhari Messe International Exhibition Center in Chiba City. In the remaining quarterfinal matchups of the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Title Tournament, Ren Narita defeated Toru Yano and Sanada beat Kenta. Narita and Sanada will now face off on November 5th in Osaka. Later that night, the winner moves on to face the victor of the other semifinal matchup between Zack Sabre Jr. and Evil. As a heat-up angle during Sabre's press conference after his match today, Evil attacked him and vowed revenge for Sabre defeating him in only 44 seconds during this year's G1 Climax tournament. All Japan Pro Wrestling ran their Halloween Maniac show inside Tokyo's Shinkiba First Ring. In title matches, Yoshitatsu and Tajiri won the All-Asia Tag Team Championship, defeating Hikaru Sato and Dan Tamura. And Tojizu retained the Gaora television title, defeating Masao Hanabata. It was his third defense of the title. On a tradition show in Osaka, Tatsumi Fujinami's year-long celebration of his 50th anniversary in pro wrestling continued as he teamed with Shiro Koshinaka and Yuji Nagata to defeat Mitsuya Nagai, Mazada, and Kenso when Nagata tapped out Mazada. Fujinami's celebration tour wraps up against New Japan's Hiroshi Tanahashi on December 1st. Stardom's 12th annual Goddess of Stardom Tag League continued today at the Big Palette in Fukushima. Winners included Natsuko Tora and Ruaka, Hazuki and Koguma, and Utami Hayashishida and Saye Kamiyatani. And Michinoku Pro celebrated the 20th anniversary of Taro Nahashi's pro wrestling debut in front of a sellout crowd at Kobe's Sambo Hall. Taro, who began his career training under Ultimo Dragon and wrestling for Toryumon X, came up short, losing to longtime veteran Jinsei Shinzaki. Our final report today will contain some spoilers for upcoming NJPW Strong Television. If you wish to not hear any of these spoilers, we'll give you a moment to make your decision. And please remember to follow us across all of our forms of social media. Last night at Sam's Town Casino in Las Vegas, New Japan held a television taping for upcoming editions of New Japan Strong. Ari Daivari defeated Kevin Knight. Mystico and Alex Zane topped Mascara Dorada and Blake Christian in a tag match when Mystico pinned Christian. And in the main event, Tomohiro Ishii defeated Filthy Tom Lawler. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.